Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I am back with a special episode today. Grade A Fantasy on Underdog Fantasy, where I'm picking 3 picks to start off the NHL season. Obviously, it has started with the global classic in Prague, with the Devils and Buffalo going back to back just this past weekend, Friday and Saturday. Uh, the Devils handily swept that series. So, as usual, when teams travel back there, NHL gives them like a few days off because they start a few days before the actual season over here, and to, get back, time adjusted, time zone and everything. They did play back to back, so long flight back, and they get at least a few days off. So you probably won't hear from the Devils or the Sabres possibly till either Wednesday and or if I'm not mistaken, maybe Thursday. Maybe Thursday. They do give them a good almost a week off or whatever. Well, business week, like 5 days. But what I'm here to do is give you my 3 picks tomorrow for the NHL slate. Picking NHL is definitely one of my favorite things to do. For those who have seen my grade A fantasy on Prospect Vids. Obviously, Prospect is no longer allowed in New York. That was definitely a big money maker for me. DFS wise, hockey is one of my favorite sports to play. And just wanted to start off the year right with some NHL picks on Underdog Fantasy. So let's get it right away. As you can see, I was already doing some research right there with the recent searches. And my top 3 picks for tomorrow are, we'll start off with one of my favorite prop players. And I think they got him too low for the shooter that he is. And that is St. Louis's Jordan Kyrou. Kyrou and the Blues will be at Seattle. But Jordan Kyrou, right now, the way the lines are projected, and they're the first game at 4:30, so most likely these are the lines that are going to be the setup. Right now, it's really Robert Thomas and Jake Neighbors, along with new acquisition Dylan Holloway playing the top line, which means Buchnevich will have Kyrou to his right side on the second line, most likely meaning they'll miss their most top defensive line, which Seattle overall is a good defensive team, but they won't be matched up with the top line. Kyrou could possibly either run into the opposition of the second line or the high octane line of Seattle, which would be the better matchup. Seattle's third line, which has Bjorkstrand, which would be headed by Bjorkstrand, center Shane Wright, and new acquisition Eli Tovinen. So most likely, now obviously they'll have the last change, but the striker and the shooter that he is, 2.5 shots is a little bit too low for him. Jordan Kyrou could easily get the 3 shots over some time. Plus, Seattle does give us some penalties. Kyrou is on the top power play, so I do like him to go over the 2.5. Next on the list is I have David Pastrnak. Now Pastrnak 3.5. He's easily for the 5. He's easily for a 4, 5, or 6. The last 2 games last year, home and away, he doubled this up and beat this prop twice. Pastrnak, he's just an amazing shooter. 3.5 is a little too low. Plus, even though Florida is a good defensive team, they still, over the past 2-3 years, still take a lot of penalties. That's where you think, even though Boston is on the road, Florida has the last change, which means Pastrnak is going to see the Barkov or Reinhart line a lot. But the skill player that Pastrnak is still going to be able to get some shots off on his own. Pastrnak being on that power play with basically one of the top 3 maybe penalized teams in the last 3 seasons. Pastrnak over 3.5 shots. And we'll go to new acquisition for Chicago. A lot of good acquisitions over the season, and we're going to go with Teuvo Teravainen, newly acquired from Carolina. He will be playing the top line, and he'll be playing on the right side of Connor Bedard. A lot of the acquisitions were to, 1, improve defensively, and 2, get some offensive help for Bedard, because after Bedard and maybe another guy or two, there really wasn't much on Chicago. They gave him some help. Teuvo is a solid two-way player, but he's going to be there to shoot. That's what he's there for. Bedard needs help. Bedard's going to get his shots off. I think they got him at 3.5. But what I like about the 2-vote prop is not only because it's 1.5, Bedard can pass the puck. He's good at passing the puck. So he won't take all the shots on his own. It's not like he's a high-volume center where he can't set up the play and set up his line mate. So Bedard with Teravainen also on the power play. Utah Hockey Club, formerly Arizona, the last 3 years, like Florida, are always in the top 5 in penalty minutes. So there's another upside there. Just game flow and maybe one shot on the power play for Teravainen, you could get that prop there. So those are my top 3 picks for the hockey season. If you put these in here, a power play of this is ×3 for 174. I mean, I was playing around with it, seeing what I wanted to do. I just put 50 in there for a number. If you put in like a simple 20, 25, ×3 power play is 87.5. If you want to do a little bit better and keep it safer, like I said, there's no pushes here, so they're either going up and under by the hook. If you want to flex it, 50 gives you 87, and by that 0.76, you're probably getting, I don't know, math-wise, my math is not too good, but 3 correct means 87. If you was to bet like 50 on this, maybe 2 correct, you're probably looking at maybe $67 possibly, something like that in that range. But I am taking the advantage of being off this week from work, so videos will be a lot more frequent this week. I already dropped the quarterback preview video. I already started dropping those for the running back video. I might drop the running back video early just so I can focus on the hockey slate tomorrow, because I will be playing that on FanDuel. But these are my picks for NHL on Underdog Fantasy. Good luck tomorrow. Welcome back, NHL 2024. A lot to be looking forward to. I can't wait to play the slate and also watch these games. So good luck. If you tail these picks, good luck. Don't have to tail them, or maybe take 2 of them and add them to whatever card you're looking at. But for me, these are my favorite picks on prize. Wow, I was about to say prize picks. I'm still used to playing that. These are my favorite picks on Underdog Fantasy. So once again, this is Grade A Fantasy on Underdog Fantasy. My top 3 picks for your Underdog Fantasy card for tomorrow's hockey slate. And now that I just realized, it's literally 1 per game. So if you pick this, you got an all-day sweat. Good luck and have a good night.